to the podcast What's Next from and with Carmen Cornelia Haselwanter. As an expert in self determination, I deal with topics such as success, joy of life, passion, and health, so that you may take many inputs for yourself. Enjoy listening to this episode. What is the secret of luck? Well, doubtless, a lot of people over all the years have really followed up that question in order to find an answer on that. It's one of these questions where people from all around the world were wondering what is the right answer here. And I remember very well at my age of 16 staying at my grandmother's place, which I loved very much. I was standing in front of her holding one of her books which she was reading. It was a poetic book, and I was catching up exactly that very question. What is the secret of luck? In front of me was this beloved grandmother standing, which I loved very much, and I knew that with her age, she had experienced quite a lot. 2 world wars. She was raising up 6 children, which one of them was my mom. And she was just the impact for pure love, sincerity, and spontaneous. She actually had the same beloved passion that I followed up, which was about writing. So she wrote herself already a couple of stories and also published them. And she was, for me, the person I admired the most. Because wonder about all that, what she lived through, and still stay within her in this kind of love she gave to all of us. So I asked her, grandmother, what's the secret of love? And I recall that her answer, just like it was yesterday, that she actually came to me and she said with this very deep, wise look into my eyes by saying, the secret of luck, my dear, is the precious of freedom. I remember it very well because years after I have read exactly about that, and I had the precious gift to find out about that already in early age. The courage of using freedom which we have in front of us is something which we all have on our roads, in our bag, if you may say so. So that actually means the question overall is, how well do we use our freedom? The right of choice, the right of choosing things, activities, and at the same time as well to make sure that whatever we do because of our own free will. The word here is as well self-determination, meaning that you do things not because others are telling you, but because you decide doing that whatsoever. Especially when we are young, when we are teenagers, we wish to be an adult in order to finally do whatever we want to do, because we want to go for our own decision and we want to stand up for our rights. Who does not recall this desire within this age, where it seems like the world at home seems too small and we would just like to discover the whole world by all our attention and support and will? And then once we have chosen our job and we have started up with filling up certain obligations, we are losing most of the time the freedom, the free will of deciding, of going for what is of our favorites. And with this podcast, I would like to invite you to recover for you, to see for yourself, where are you standing? What is it that, how you deal with this free will, with the decision, with the self-determination within your life? Because overall, what we have to make sure that we understand and we are aware is that quite a lot of generation before us were fighting and giving their life for the right we're having now to decide. And we are talking here about the countries such as Middle Europe, because all over the news we hear about many countries where the right of choosing and the right of going their own will and living their way of desiring is not part of their life. So, taking this in attention, we have to make sure that we take this right at all times in order to use it for us, for the environment, but especially to make sure that our calling, what we are here for in this life, we are doing it by all meaning at all times in order for us to understand what the life is all about. Freedom is an amazing, great startup. And a lot of people are telling me always, like, oh my God, I do not have the courage to step out of my comfort zone in order to go out and make new ways for me. And this is very true. It starts with the courage to get out of your old routine and start up a new one. And this is clearly starting up with your decision. First of all, to recognize where you are, then to see where do you want to go, and then to make up your way in order to step out the first. And that, I know, is requiring courage. Especially during the time of Corona, we, nearly all around the world, we did not have the privilege of deciding what we wanted to do. Quite a lot of countries actually did not allow anymore to travel. We had some sort of obligations to follow up, and if we did not do so, we were not allowed to continue with the way we continued our life. So that was just a little insight how things in the environment in our country could be differently if the free will is not there anymore. And God thanks, we are out of that. But I believe it shall not be forgotten what it actually meant not having the right to do certain things just because you decided of not following certain rules which had been appeared in these days. It was a little insight into a time which we don't know from our past because we are too young. But our grandparents or even the parents from them, they went through another kind of life where it was not normal for a woman to study or, to go on a travel just like that. The fact is that you are living in a time and in a country where this free will is given to you, is there every day. So let's clearly say the secret of luck is that you make sure that you live every day by using your free will and the freedom to decide, to go towards self-determination in order for you to call out and to live in your calling, your purpose. Start with it now and be an example for others in order for them as well to go and follow their own inner calling and purpose. Because this is like a chain of calling. By the time I call out to encourage your activity, do so, you will then as well be an example for others. And this is how we create a world full of shining, lighting colors. Go for it and make sure that you implement the luck and the freedom into your life. Thank you for listening to Your Mindset Mentor. Talk to you very soon again, and in the meantime, make sure that every day you live yourself in the best version because you're worth it. Take care, all the best, bye bye.